Hello, everybody, and welcome to Alone in the Dark 3. And as per usual, we're going to be going through the mystery examiner that comes with this game. The last one, I think. Not sure, actually. I'm not sure if any future Alone in the Dark game comes with a mystery examiner of some kind. I assume if one of them does, it's probably going to be Alone in the Dark, A New Beginning, or whatever the fourth one is called. But, so this might just be the last Mystery Examiner, which, you know what, is fine by me, because Mystery Examiners have often been really, really weird most of the time. We got ourselves another special edition, folks. This is July 4th of 1925. Curse of the Fields of Braves. Extra Extra by William J. Herbert, Chief Editor. Hollywood gossip columnists are still reeling. Could it be that the film The Last Ranger is really under a curse? An unusual series of despicable incidents have rained like a permanent thunderstorm over the entire production. You may remember the showdown between the film's two writers. 6 months ago, Scott W. Barthelby and Teddy Falk were to pen a new page in the book of movie world shenanigans. What begins as a difference of opinion soon turned into a knockdown, drag-out brawl. The cause? Why, money, of course, and jealousy. Barthelby's name is mentioned no fewer than 6 times in the credits. It all happened inside the Copacabana School of Fine Arts. Kind of place where teachers stand behind a counter and knowledge comes in tiny glasses at 30 cents a shot. Equal parts of liquor and hatred resulted in a fiery cocktail. The whole block where the Copacabana stood on Hollywood Boulevard went up in flames. That was merely the beginning. 1 month later, the director of the film, none other than Scott Barthelby's brother Henry, was arrested in his house by Los Angeles Vice Cop Lieutenant and is still in jail. He claims his innocence. Even across town, the dust was flying, this time with the talented and incorruptible boss of Hill Century Studios, Greg Saunders. As head honcho of the whole leaky business, Mr. Saunders was determined to keep a cool head under the circumstances and sail his ship into port. However, his legendary patience was tried when it turned out during screen tests that Ambrosius C. Barthelby, the actor scheduled to play the leading role, had no notion of how to ride a horse. Quite unusual for a man who's been in the acting business for 65 of his 82 years. Exit Ambrosius and enter Hill Century's rising male lead, Billy Silver. The Last Ranger's horse had a rider at last. According to informed sources, the prestigious studios were about to fold when the Barthelby Bank opened a line of credit to Hill Century. Soon after, on June 24th, a film crew from the studio secretly moved out to a place called Slaughter Gulch, a haunting ghost town in the Mojave Desert, where John Pierpont Stacks began filming the exteriors for The Last Ranger. Greg Saunders' publicity department has already come up with a novel idea for keeping the press hounds' tongues dangling. Henceforth, on every Friday, Jeffrey Bomber Davis would gallop on his Appaloosa into Hollywood to deliver the latest news on the shoot to gather hacks. This system worked well until on the third such Friday, his horse collapsed right in the middle of Hollywood Boulevard. Thereupon, the horse's friend, a group of animal lovers headed by Miss Victorian Hornibiggle, attacked Hill Century in the newspapers. The effigy of Jeffrey Davis was burned in front of the Chinese Theater, and Lieutenant That Guy had to call in the Los Angeles Fire Department to pour cold water on the proceedings. The dynamic vice cop had then made a few arrests, including the mayor of the city, whose crime was to try and calm the folks down. It was then that the Mystery Examiner decided to investigate the unfortunate series of events. All fared well in the following 2 weeks. Then, one Friday, Davis failed to appear at Hill Century's office. Had he lost his way in the desert? Had Billy Silver broken his collarbone during a particular daring stunt, as one paper suggested? Rumors rustled, but nobody at Hill Century was able to enlighten us. So we sent one of our reporters, SOMS Bartleby, out to the deadly Slaughter Gulch to find the truth. There is no place for God-fearing folks, declared Wilbur Aldery, a teacher in Johannesburg and noted tobacco chewer. That's ghost country, boy, and I says to my students that there's devil territory. The Indians, now they call it the field of braves, but even they'd go the long way around the place. None of them been near that gulch in 50 years. Don't you get no notions to wander around there, advertised Mr. Aldery, who then, as if to drive home his warning, expectorated a stream of brown juice on our reporter's silk coat. We have just received the following item of interest from Mr. F.X. O'Neill, a subscriber to this organ. One of the horses rented to Hill Century has been found in Johannesburg in the state of exhaustion and terror. An intriguing detail, a message written in lipstick, has been discovered on the saddle reading, "Call Carnby." Could the person in question possibly be Edward Carnby, the private detective whose name has been linked to the DeSerto and Hell's Kitchen mysteries? Two of the most macabre cases the Mystery Examiner has ever reported. At this time, no one can know. Be assured, however, that one of our reporters was on his way to the Field of Braves at the printing of this edition. He's determined to shed the bright light of journalistic truth upon this troubling development. Rest assured, no affair, be it menacing gunslingers or two-timing outlaws, can escape the Mystery Examiner's exclusive eye. William J. Herbert, Chief Editor. Silver Screen Tattle. HBL and OWP, two anonymous artists from Tawana, are creating a collection of illustrated booklets featuring top screen idols. Their first print run, Private Life of Zelda Starr, has been confiscated by the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office following a complaint from Monroe Starr. However, you can't keep a keen artist down, as the actress said to the president. So HBL and OWP are determined to market their second work. Ring Ting Ting's Favorite Kennels, starring the Zupnik Studios' leading canine star. Permanent horse protector Victorian Hornybickle has also filed a complaint with the DA's office, but alas, it was too late to prevent publication of a slim volume entitled Victorian Loves Horses. I haven't seen the book, but I'm told it's about a weekend at a stud farm. Hijinks over on Rushmore Lot. A crazed dentist armed with an axe burst into the cutting room and chopped up the negative of Erich von Greed's latest film, Carrion Crows. How, you asked? Did the loony get in? I'm told he disguised himself as studio boss Mark B. Zirkov by plastering his hair with guano and putting on a worn three-piece suit. Following the incident, Rushmore security chief soon found himself out of a job. His replacement is Walter, who immediately brandished a shotgun before the gathered reporters, claiming, "This is how I calm crazies." Security measures now entail a personal body search for everybody who goes through the lot's massive iron gates, including Ring Ting Ting's female rival, Yum Yum. Wanted. Whoever stole Greg Galibert's brown pants while he was in Wally Abergast's trailer is invited to return them. The way Greg puts it, if a guy can't rehearse an arm wrestling scene without having his favorite pants stolen, then the world's bound for hell in a handbasket. Our Hollywood ear to the ground, Lulu Parsnips. Mystery investors. Following the event of December 24th last, Hell's Kitchen, the infamous house on the cliff, was purchased by a private investigator who preferred to remain anonymous to ensure City Hall's goodwill. They have agreed to shore up the cliff and also City Hall. Warning, due to the risk of rock slides, tourists are advised to avoid Ocean Drive. Is there a connection between Hell's Kitchen's purchase and the sale of Derceto, the Louisiana mansion at the center of the macabre tale of death? You'll remember Derceto had been bought by eccentric architect Frank Stride. See our special 1924 edition. Whew. But when Stride and his father both committed suicide, the place was sold to William and Wilma Bates, a couple from the West Coast who claim they intend to open a motel nearby. The mystery examiner holds a dim view on coincidence. Whatever the link between two real estate transactions, the organ will root it out. In the name of truth and decency, readers will understand that for reasons of safety, we are not as yet in a position to reveal certain shocking pieces of information which we have received on the subject. When all the pieces of this vile puzzle are finally in place, our readers will be the first to learn the hideous facts. From our special correspondent, Harry McGregor. A happy event! One of our faithful subscribers, Judge Denver Church, has informed us of the coming of the birth of a grandson, David Samuel Peckinpah. Hubertus lotion. Fucking hell. What does that say? Millions of hairless sufferers have found permanent relief from baldness. Hubertus lotion can also be applied to chests. Pregnant women should first consult a doctor. The Last Ranger, Billy Silver, the Blue Pirate, and Annie Hillerman, the Bride of Sheka. Coming soon to a screen near you, another tearjerker from Bill's Century. What is this? The Howling Hour. What in tarnation? Werewolves in California's Salem country? Local cattle has been skittish for 6 months, smashing fences and troughs. Ranchers can't sell their animals in the Chicago market because the poor beasts look so spooked nobody wanted them. Terror stalked under every full moon in Salem County. Marvin Lee, a local cattle hand, swore he'd seen 2 creatures with man-like bodies and wolf heads. They was dancing palookas in the moonlight. I seen 'em clear as I see you, Reverend, declared Lee to Lieutenant Briggs of the Salem County Sheriff's Office. Intrigued by the tale, one of our dutiful subscribers, Mr. Remington Barrel, decided to investigate. Despite excruciating lumbago attacks like forked lightning on my nerve ends, Mr. Barrel was determined to uncover the truth, regardless of possible peril to himself. Armed for all eventualities, he staked out the cattle sheds and, after a 7-night vigil, finally opened fire on the Salem beasts. Henceforth exposed as the inhuman creatures they were, the Harker twins quickly broke down and admitted the ghastly truth. They lived for months disguised in dog costumes purchased from Jack in the Dark, a toy and novelty shop. The 2 culprits, under constant police guard, are recovering from multiple wounds at the Jack Banyan Hospital. Governor Humbert H. Harker is expected to sign their transfer to Black Rock Penitentiary. Noted alienist Dr. Zempf have listened carefully to the twins' barking, declaring they are suffering from canine delusions and mange. My treatment consists of buying them collars. In such a way they will become domesticated. I also plan to provide them with a tree, since my nurses complain of being relieved upon. Dr. Zenth, properly known by his colleague in Bel Air as Helmut, is the author of the controversial Pain, a New Therapy for Liars. Meanwhile, back in Salem country, Lieutenant Briggs is a worried man. I'm a worried man. I don't know why that's funny. Lieutenant Briggs is a worried man. I'm a worried man, he admitted. There could be thousands of people out there wanting to assume monster identities. The mummy from the Rockies, the Catalina zombie, you name it. When young people can walk into the store and buy a vampire outfit, sooner or later, they're going to do it. News in brief. The left wing of St. Andrew's Home for Orphan Children, Waifs and Strays, partially destroyed during the quake of March 3rd, 1924, has been restored, and the new ring will be inaugurated today, July 4th. Sister Mary, director of the orphanage, has declared herself delighted with the dates chosen for the opening ceremony. The 4th of July will be a grand day for California, she assured gathered reporters with an enigmatic smile. Grace is happy and healthy. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Saunders, extend heartfelt thanks to all those who have extended heartfelt sympathy, concern, and interest. Frigate to Port! Episode 3 in the gripping saga of Pirates and Plunders by Captain Trevis. His saber held high, Briggs leapt at the Vulture's captain, slicing the poor man clean through the neck. Jordan's head, wearing an expression of mortal terror, flew through the air and struck Quick in the face. "Quick, busy fighting," two men muttered. "Pardon me, Captain," and booted the head nearly over the side, where it awaited in the shark's awaiting jaws. Tied to the main mast, her exquisite skin half exposed beneath a torn lace dress, Princess Elizabeth struggled to free herself. Her finely modeled hand struggled with a coarse and chafing rope. Just then a bolt of lightning struck the bowsprit, and fine rain began to fall, moisturizing the ship from mizzenmast to the poop deck. Elizabeth's dress clung to her perfectly shaped form. The princess feared the worst. Surely she was certain to catch cold. The late Captain Jordan's dead corpse rolled lifelessly through the puddles of rain-streaked blood and bumped into an ominous sound on the cabin door. "Enter!" cried a guttural voice from within. With no care for Elizabeth's heart-rending sneezes, Briggs leapt from the yard arm to the quarter-deck and thence to the fore-deck, whence, with a mighty leap, he landed skillfully upon another deck. It was at this fateful moment that his bright-colored trousers ripped with the sound of tearing. Enraged by his Textilian treason, Parks immediately threw Quick and another seaman, whose name shall remain anonymous for all time, over the side, where they vanished completely into the gaping jaws of a school of sharks, pausing only to leave the lifeless carcass of the late Captain Jordan from its place of refuge before the door. Prex then leapt into the cabin. An expression of utter terror mingled with fear of the profoundest kind contorted the pirate's horrified features. Then, in the osculating light of a swinging storm lantern, a complete suit of armor sat impatiently behind the ornate and finely wrought desk. "I've been waiting for you," intoned a chilling voice from a point situated deep within the helmet. To be continued. The Gold Rush, Chronicles by James W. Caldwell. It was with emotion and a sense of respect that a privileged group of Forestville residents entered the Gold Rush Museum last Tuesday. The museum's official opening is scheduled for today, July 4th. For the first time, visitors had the opportunity to marvel at the life and times of their prospector ancestors, tough men and women, of whom many lost their lives in the quest for gold. The young lads and lasses gazed with undisguised wonder at various exhibits. Included were a poker hand consisting of 4 jacks of diamonds known as the One-Eyed Jack, and a candlestick with a shapely pointed base, which miners planted in the rock at night in order to continue their feverish search. The event was marred with an inebriated, one-eyed old-timer opened his shirt. Neither ladies nor children of tender years were spared the grisly sight of his deeply scarred chest. He claimed the candlestick had uses none present could imagine. The troublemaker was quickly silenced, and once more the proceedings were allowed to continue in a more pleasant setting. "God made man, and big iron steel makes him a bigger man. My name is Victor Remington Barrel. The way I see it, a man without a gun deserves what he gets. That's why smart men buy my fine reproduction peacemaker Colt. They let it do the talking when others call them yellow bellies or even mama's boys, which is the lowest form of insult known to society. With 8 inches of toughened steel, you two can win respect and walk tall. Snickers turn to cowardly whimpers when you fill your hand with the peacemaker. Here's what a satisfied client from Flagston says. Folks used to call me stupid on account of my drooling and fixed grin. Now I got my gun. Ain't nobody laughing no more. They can't count on account that they're dead. The judge says I'm the most dangerous man in the state. At the trial, I can tell Susie Nichols wants me. Believe me, that testament to my guns is not exceptional. I receive thousands of such thank you letters every day of my life. Isn't it about time you proved yourself?" Wanted Jed Stone. If you are 18 and over, play a Wild West Adventures telephone quiz, and you could be riding the range to Tombstone, Arizona for a 7-day adventure. Simply call the T-Motion hint line 24 hints, tips, and games telephone line at 900-900-884-6684. Reward: a trip to Tombstone, Arizona. I think this is the last page. Mysterious information now at your fingertips. Hints! Don't fret any longer at the hands of outlaws, including a unique book of offers that includes a 24 hint line to assist you in your Wild West adventures. Just giddy up to the closest telephone and crank this number, 900-884-6684, for help, or play a telephone quiz game and win great prizes. The book also provides a first-hand look at upcoming attractions from iMotion, and the convenience of purchasing Alone in the Dark and 2 directly. Plus, if you send in the enclosed registration card now, you'll be eligible to win valuable prizes and possibly an authentic Wild West trip to Tombstone, Arizona. What are you waiting for? Call today. See firsthand how the West has really won. 2 lucky couples will soon be awarded iMotion's finest prize to date, a trip to Tombstone, Arizona. Registered by June 15th, 1995, for this 7-day Wild West adventure where you'll tour a real gold mine, have a drink in an authentic saloon, must be 21, and relax in a distinctive stagecoach ride, visit the OK Corral and other original hotspots. Simply fill out the registration card located in the book of offers in this package and return it at once. Enjoy a Wild West adventure so real you may just change the course of history. See what made the West so wild. You may not be able to change history, but you can make it more exciting. With Alone in the Dark 1 and 2, dig your spurs into the very ground where Edward Carnaby first marked his territory as unequivocal super sleuth of the 20s. Solve the other mysteries and see if you're ready to be alone in the dark again. Subscribe. Subscription coupon valid to Thursday, October 24th, 1925. Yes, I wish the varnished truth delivered regularly to my home. I hereby subscribe without further delay to the Mystery Examiner by sending $1.25. In exchange, I will receive the latest issue of the Mystery Examiner every Saturday for 6 months. With my first issue, I will receive a pair of invisible spectacles delivered in a brown, unmarked envelope. All declarations I make concerning mysterious events taking place in or near my home will be considered for investigation. Name, address, a mysterious fact concerning my neighborhood. Accounts settled at the OK Corral. Following 3 months of difficulties, Wilbur J. Hamilton has finally succeeded in restoring his umbrella factory, situated to the north of the famous OK Corral, to a state of financial stability. I settled all of my accounts, stated Hamilton. Whew. Well, that was honestly probably the most interesting and most coherent Mystery Examiner, which I think is definitely worth mentioning, considering the first Mystery Examiner was all fluff except for like the first article piece, if I remember correctly. Second Mystery Examiner was just garbage. This one was interesting, and it was also kind of funny in a lot of places. But, yeah, so this is episode 0. Once again, the Mystery Examiner. And, in a moment, you will also see a video coming up of the first episode of Alone in the Dark 3. So thank you all for watching, especially if you got this far, and stick around. There's a lot more to come.